taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Hey, everybody. We're bringing you greetings from Jackson, Mississippi. We hope everybody's doing well and have braved. For those of us who are in the South, particularly, we're hoping and praying that you all are braving this winter storm and that you're getting the heat, the warmth, and sunshine finally, and water. So as we go through this time, we're still pressing on. So we're thinking of all of you during this time. Just want to let you all know we are now 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from our conference. And as you all know, Keisha and I have been on every Monday since really for the last 3 weeks, and have just truly enjoyed this time. So with 2 weeks down, we want you to like, we want you to comment, we want you to share the information that we're here to share with you, which is our Star Network Conference. And Keisha's going to tell you some things about the lineup, all of our presenters, and we'll talk about the superintendent. So we are so excited about tonight.
So every week, I tell you all about the lineup and how excited I am about the presenters that we have for our Star Network Conference. So tonight, we are going to reveal the presenters and the participants on the superintendent. So of course, we will start the conference with, as we say every week, SEL, Social Emotional Learning and Self-Care. And we have Tanja Morton, who will be the presenter for that segment. Then we're going to move to talking about personalized learning and its importance. So we have Dr. Cindy Gibson, who we will be presenting on that topic. STEAM is an important component, and we discussed that last week. And we have Dr. Dominic McInnes, who will be presenting on STEAM. We know as we pivot into this new normal with this pandemic that we have to integrate technology more than we have done in the past. So we have Mr. Otis Miller, who will be presenting on technology integration and what that looks like real time in our classrooms currently. And today our topic is about coaching. So we have Mr. Kenneth Grigsby, who will be presenting about coaching and its importance. So of course we told you we have some comedic relief. So we have Rita Brent, who will be the comedian that will give you some comedic relief during the conference. And last but not least, we have Mr. Arthur Kane, who will be moderating our superintendent's panel. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Grigsby to talk about our superintendents who will be represented on our panel.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Arthur Kane for moderating this. I had to beg for him. No, he graciously accepted the invitation. And so he'll be asking questions. And so if you have questions that you'd like for him to ask of these wonderful superintendents, please feel free to put that in the chat. But first, we will have Dr. Eric Green, who is the superintendent for Jackson Public School District. Then we'll have Dr. Tim Martin, who is the superintendent for Clinton Public Schools. We have Charlotte Seals, superintendent of Madison County Public Schools. We have Wade Whitney, who is from George County School District. We have Gary Hanna from Canton Public School District. We have Dr. Nadine Arrington from East Jasper County, and that's in Heidelberg, Mississippi. We have Dr. Adam Pugh from Lafayette County School District, and that's in Oxford. And last but not least, we have Dr. Jermaine McConnell, who is the superintendent for the Mississippi School for the Math and Science. So we're so excited to give you all a variety of superintendents. We have large school district, small school district, county school district, city school district, and then we even have a special program superintendent as well. So we think that by you all engaging and joining with us, that you will learn so much from what they've learned during this season, which is what our virtual conference is about. Students and teachers achieving results, soaring in all seasons. So we sent out a query not too long ago, and I believe it was last Thursday or Friday, and we asked you all, does everyone need a coach? And we've kind of gotten some comments about that. Does everyone need a coach? So let me know what you all think. Thank you, Rakisha. We appreciate your support. It is an awesome lineup. It is an awesome lineup, and we can't wait. So does everyone need a coach? So Keisha, you were sharing as we were talking and planning for this, you were sharing about some of the comments that you saw.
Right, and some of the comments that I noted in terms of coaching was about experience, right? So we know that in order to be an effective coach, you have to coach in your capacity or based on your experience, right? So if I am coaching a teacher in classroom management and I don't have a well-managed class, I might not be the most effective coach for that teacher, right? So my expertise may be instructional practices, and I'm really working on my management skills, right? So I was, in looking at the comments, I think it is very important and very vital. It's essential that your coach is a coach of experience, right?
Yeah.
It has some expertise in that area in which they are working to coach the person that they're coaching.
Yeah, like Kayla, Miss Kayla Taylor, she shared, she said, everyone definitely needs a coach. And you all tell us why. We want to hear from you. Yes, coaching is necessary. And I agree. And we continue to have these conversations on a day-to-day basis about, is coaching necessary? Like you said, the instructional coach, the management coach, what does that look like? And one of the things that I was sharing with you yesterday, Keisha, was, that my husband and I coach the swim team. And while I have been swimming literally since probably 6 months old, Ken is not a swimmer at all. Now he'll get in the water and he can do some things, but he is not a swimmer. But we both serve different purposes on the swim team.
Right.
He is so good at the relational skills with the high school, well, I should say middle and high school scholars. And he also has experience with land training. So he knows the workouts that they have to do to, increase their strength in their arms and as well as in the legs. Whereas in my coaching role on the swim team, I'm actually looking at the specific techniques, the strokes. I'm looking at, okay, are your hands closed? Are they open? What I'm looking at things that can give the students insight into how they can feed, right? Because the object of being on the swim team, you want to, reduce your time, right? So with that said, we're even beginning to explore, is one coach enough? Is having one coach enough? Is it, having a specialized coaching or not? So, I'm looking here, Ashley Poole. Hey, Ashley. You know, she's thinking of mentors, which is such a great segue into the conversation that Keisha's going to lead. You know, strong, experienced mentor-teacher relationships are so important, and we talked about that too. Keisha, tell them what you were saying yesterday about mentors.
So, as we segue into mentorship, I think you said two great things when you were talking about your experience as a coach, right? So one is relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships mean a lot to me, right? So I need to know that you know what you're talking about. I need to know that you have my best interest in mind. And we know that, when we're looking at mentorship, we're looking at coaching. Sometimes your coach is self-selected, right? So if I'm self-selecting my coach, I'm gonna look for some things, right? I'm gonna see how that person is interacting with other people, the interactions that he and I, or the coach and she have had, as well as how they interact with their students.
Exactly.
But sometimes your coach is not self-selected, right? It's someone that is assigned. Right. So building those strong relationships are important, right? Is very, very vital. Mentorship, I remember my first years of teaching, right?
Yeah.
I remember us sitting down and planning lessons, right? You had to coach me through it, but I also had an assigned mentor, Miss Catchings. And she was just, a ray of sunshine, right? She would come, we built a relationship. She could tell me, because we had a relationship, those things that I really need to work on to support my scholars. And that was very vital to me for that first year of teaching, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let's look about 10, 15 years down the road, right? So I was teaching, I had my mojo. I got a couple more positions. So then I decided I wanted to be an administrator, right? So I switched districts, right? So I just remember my first coaching experience was with my colleague who was also an assistant principal at the time, that she sat with me doing some parent conferences, right? And at the end, she would work with me, she would talk to me, and we would just have some candid conversations. And she basically said, Sutton, now, just the way you talk to that parent not gonna work, right? That's not how we operate in this culture, right?
Right.
Let me allow you to observe some parent conferences that I am facilitating so you can gain some skills and strategies, right? So also, when you think about that coaching and what type of coaching, you were talking about, you may need several different coaches. So coaching is in your current capacity, instructional practices. You may need a new coach when you change a new position, right? Because you are learning. But I think one of the most important things that you said was, one, relationships, and two, somebody with experience, right? Yeah. And, as a person, you have to know what you're looking for in the coach, and be able to determine who those persons are around you that can provide you some support in those areas.
Yeah, and it goes back to the conversation and the cliche, but it's true that people do not care what you know until they know that you care. But we added a piece to that. You can't just say you care without showing. You've got to have a track record of things that demonstrate that you really care about that person, and it's just not lip service. We're actually walking the talk. And I see our former colleague from way back, Angie Fears. We see you. Coaching also helps to build relationships among the staff as a whole. So she remembers when we were just starting our careers way back when, but yeah, it definitely does. But then we also explored coaching versus the supervisory position. At what point does coaching become supervision? And so as an assistant superintendent or in our roles as an administrator, as a principal, you know, do my teacher, do my principals, do they see me as a coach, or do they see me as a supervisor, or does it vary? You
So,
know,
so that was my $1,000,000 question, right? So
yeah,
how do I move from coaching my teachers or coaching my principals or coaching whoever that I am coaching in my capacity when I'm also their supervisor, right? In my mind, coaching looks a little differently when I don't have any supervisory capability. I'm not in a supervisory role, right? Because they know at some point that's not punitive. But I do think you gave a really great explanation as to when it is truly coaching and when it's truly more evaluative.
right, exactly. So, and I'm sure there's, ongoing debate about, coaching and supervision, but that is what Mr. Kenneth Grigsby is going to be sharing with us during the presentation. I mean, he's going to hit on, mentorship versus coaching. He's also going to share some other information. I don't want to give all his secrets away, but he absolutely has even helped me grow and us grow as we begin to think about, what is the true coaching role. But yeah, so we are
And coaching, and I
yeah,
don't think coaching is only for professional, right? It's personal. Let me tell you something. Sometimes I need a coach just for my life. So I can help keep my life together. Yeah,
right.
coach, they help me keep myself professionally together. And then when I have all these, 2021 resolutions and goals that I'm trying to work on, I need a coach for that, right? So I think, and I know we're talking from the perspective of educators and what we do in our profession. But I think that, you need coaches and you may need a coach in every aspect of life. And
Right.
also let me say, I don't feel that you ever get in a position where you don't need a coach, even professionally, right? It's always good to have somebody to provide you with some strategies or some suggestions or some coaching from a different lens, right? Especially as educators, and we're continuing to get engaged in professional learning. We're continuing, we want to grow as professionals. So I don't think it's ever a time, to be honest, why you don't need a coach or a mentor or somebody to support you.
I totally agree. And Rakisha, don't be telling any secrets now. You also have to be coachable. You are so right. You can't say you want a coach and, someone to really help you grow. You also have to be willing to have that growth mindset and be coachable too.
Right.
And that's basically what you were saying, Keisha, about your experience when you switch roles. You know,
Right.
even our best, when we think of coaches, we think about, our athletes, even Serena Williams of the world, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, even those individuals had coached. They were at the top, the height of their careers, and yet they still had coaches. You have musicians, fine musicians who are they still have coaches. So sometimes you need a coach to keep to iron sharpens iron, right? To
Right.
keep you sharp. So it's not necessarily just because you're not doing well, or
Right.
you're being coached because you got some pounds to lose,
Right.
or that it could be that you're actually trying to sharpen a skill that you actually have and you want to improve it.
Right.
Yeah, and
And And that's one reason that the relationship is important, right? Because as coaches, or when you're being coached, there are going to be times where you have some very hard, critical conversations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I need to have had that relationship with what they used to say, somebody need to fill my bucket enough in this coaching relationship.
Yeah.
That when you're ready to, have these hard conversations, I can accept it, from my coach or from my mentor and grow from there. So I totally agree with it.
Y'all, we could talk all day about this and share many different coaching experiences, both on the receiving end and both on the giving end.
Correct.
But we hope that we've kind of shed some light, some spark, some knowledge, maybe even some conversations in your circles. But we do want you to like and share and comment. We want to share also the good news that was shared earlier about the Star Network Conference, which is where some of the coaching professional development will come in. And that is that we have 10 scholarships. So we're so excited. Our 2 sponsors are paying for 10 educators, specifically in Mississippi, to join the conference. And it is, a treat. We are currently working on CEUs so that, we can make sure that you all get credit for attending the entire 5-hour conference. But we're so excited. So you need to sign up if you're interested in registering or attending, getting the scholarship. Definitely sign up. And I'm going to try to flash it across the bottom of the screen so you'll have it. I don't know. Okay, there it is. So you can register at www.star-network.org, and you'll see it. It's a very simple website. So you'll see Star Network Conference 2021. And once you get on that tab, it'll take you to applying or registering, whichever one you'd like to do. And also, y'all, Tanja, we talked about her about 3 weeks ago. Tanja has her self-care toolkit. And I believe she's in the process of sending those out as we speak. So if you register for the VIP conference, she will be sending you the VIP toolkit. I have mine, and I keep saying I'm going to bring mine and show mine. Hopefully next week, when we announce all of our winners for the scholarship, woohoo! When we, announce that, hopefully I'll have it so I can share just a little bit of what that looks like. But it is going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. So come back, you all. Visit us on Facebook Live every Mondays at 7:30. For those of you who are still in the storm, the winter storm, we're thinking of you, and we hopefully, hope that by the end of this week, we'll have some power restorations and water and things of that nature. So we're going to wrap up. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
See you next week.